negative 0.5941 is equal to E.
I've run into several classmates and I've told them if they have an opportunity to take a Z course, they need to jump on it.
Once you got used to the material online, it was easier to follow than having to go back to a book to reference.
It saves financially. It's a great resource to do, and I would recommend it highly.
Populate, what was the sample mean?
In 2013, we began the process of creating the first in the country degree program that would not use textbook materials for our students.
When we first started this Z degree project with TCC, it was about removing the cost of textbooks from the equation.
I took 3 C courses and I saved about $500 to $600 just in books, which is how much one class costs.
One textbook I had to buy for just this semester was a $200 textbook, and when you consider some textbooks are more expensive or a little bit less than that, that can add up to a lot of money really fast.
All right, well, let's set up an equation.
The cost of the textbooks are estimated by the College Board on average for a community college student per year to be over $1,200. So we estimate that in the one semester alone we saved our students $60-some thousand.
From the military veteran standpoint and someone who's been forward deployed, I think it's an outstanding idea. The financial aspect helps veterans not have to put forth as much of their book stipend on their GI Bill towards materials. And it also allows them where if you do have a disabled military veteran, they now have the asset available and not have to use the money that they were spending on books and come out of pocket for all the extra resources.
Not having to buy any books, I was able to provide orthodontic care for my youngest daughter.
You're working backwards.
The impact of OER on my students, I believe, has been tremendous. I gave students the assignment of doing a self-evaluation of the semester, and the majority of the class expressed how much they liked the OER material. This is your self-evaluation.
The primary takeaway from designing and delivering a Z course has been how focused the students are during lecture. They really are active learners and they pay attention.
Is equal to the natural log of 5.
My experience with taking a Z course was phenomenal. It was easier to get the material, it was easier just to sit down with a laptop instead of having a laptop, a textbook, a notebook.
The other thing that it helped them do is realize the vast amount of material that's out there that is free and open to them.
The Z course differed very much from the publisher materials because you were allowed to do other things besides what was in the material. Whereas a traditional textbook follows a course of instruction, the Z course allowed the published materials to be varied, to be able to pull in something else that the students may be lacking at that time without having to create a lot of extra work for the students and having to find those materials.
Everything's online. You can go and get tons of different websites for the same topic and have different viewpoints. You can get YouTube videos. It's just, there's more out there for you than just a book.
Yes, I like that. With authority. What I've realized is how much of a paradigm shift it is for not just the student, but for the faculty member to cut the umbilical cord that we've had with textbooks.
First of all, it made me really look at my assignments and made me think, okay, am I designing these assignments to truly match what I'm trying to teach here?
I didn't have to have a lot of fluff or extraneous problems that didn't have any sense to them. I could streamline the course and have them do problems that meant something in their career.
Right.
We're now using this program, the Z degree program, as an evaluative instrument to identify what other program areas we want to target so that the students in other degree areas can benefit from the same approach.
If I had a classmate that was considering a Z course, I would tell them go for it. It's a great opportunity. Even though you don't have a textbook, you're not being hindered from your learning experience.
Once you got a hold of how to do things and manage the website, it was pretty good.
It's a cutting-edge type technology. It's a way that the classrooms could potentially be moving forward.
For my colleagues who are interested in adopting OER in the future, I would give them the advice, absolutely go for it. An OER class, in a sense, it's the on-demand of education, but you have to be open to changing your material, at least every semester, if not midway through the semester.
All of the reputation that the college had in terms of vision, innovation, and risk-taking really came to fruition in this project, and the collaboration among our faculty was bar none.
I'm glad that I was able to enroll in Z courses.
It was one of the best things that's happened to me since I've been in TCC. I was able to save so much money and put it towards something besides my education, towards my family.
There's so many valuable points on this. It's unimaginable at the end of where the veterans could be able to use this, and personally, I enjoy it. That's why I'm taking another one this next semester.
I think that of everything that I know now that I didn't know when I started, it was that it would absolutely transform the way I teach, what I teach, and how my students learn.